Today, the importance of why we are all here in this room is to talk about central bank digital currencies, the world of blockchain, and meeting central banks. So before I go any further, I'm going to give the definition of what a central bank digital currency is. A central bank digital currency is generally an accepted form of money in digital format which is issued by a government and circulated within an economy. Two important notes about that definition. The first one was that definition did not exist 5 years ago because digital dollars at a central banking level did not exist 5 years ago. The second important thing to note about that is that that was just a definition of currency with digital added to it. And that's basically what this is and what we're building here. It's an alternative tool and a different type of vehicle for how money is moved and how it works. This event was put on today to bring together the awareness of central bank digital dollars, blockchain technology, and how it affects the economies below them. As the only company in the world fully focused on central bank digital currencies, with our whole hearts, our souls, and our minds put forward to it, it's our obligation to come here and ensure that we open the room for these discussions, to bring the right stakeholders together, to have these collaborative conversations about what's the importance, what's the risk, the importance and tough questions that need to be asked. How does a central bank digital dollar function in society? How does a central bank merely mint and issue this digital dollar? Does it just exist by itself? What about the supporting software and the layers below that? How does the merchant receive this digital dollar and process it? How do consumers send and receive it? What is the importance of a central bank digital dollar? What is the cost of printing cash? The cost of mobilizing, moving, securing, accounting for cash, counting cash? What are those real economic costs? And what are the advantages to a central bank or a monetary authority? What are the risks? What about anti-money laundering, terrorism financing? What about being hacked? These are all very critical and important questions, and this is why we're here today, to answer them, to discuss them, to collaborate on where the future is going with regards to this technology. More importantly, how does this affect the central bank, their monetary policy and control? What does this do for them in terms of efficiency? But the central bank digital dollar isn't about central banks. It's a financial instrument that they create. But 5 years ago, a group of young men and women got together and looked at problems that they were facing in their home country, problems that related to payments, to being part of a global financial ecosystem. Those young men and women designed the system in their own image, solving their own problems. A system designed for consumers, designed for the small user, designed for the end user. It gave them the ability to send money using electronic mediums, the ability to participate in global financial ecosystems, the ability to receive payments all over the world, and most importantly, the ability to become a modern internet citizen. So the theme of this year for Bitt is from the ground up. And while we only have roughly around 200 clients around the world, 200 monetary authorities and central banks, it is the actors below that that also have our responsibility of delivering a secure, transparent, and safe-to-use system. Because at the end of the day, this is a person's money. So when we designed the system, we didn't want to just build another private e-money system. You know several of them: PayPal, M-Pesa in Kenya, Visa, MasterCard. These are private, closed-loop systems designed for corporate control and margin-based profits. What we designed is a monetary and fiscal tool, a brand new instrument that monetary authorities can give to everyone below them. Banks are not our competition. We enhance banks with this service. Payment providers are not our competition. We give them newer and better rails that are integrated into the hearts of society. The system that we designed needed to include everyone. So when we looked at the money supply chain, we broke it down into 3 layers. And I've spoke about these 3 layers quite often. Layer 1, at the top of the food chain, central banking, or the monetary institutions where they issue the central bank digital dollar. Layer 2, financial institutions, the point of distribution, we integrate the digital dollar into their environment, allowing them to become digital cash account providers. And my favorite layer, layer 3. This is the point of where we touch the consumers, the ATMs, the mobile wallets, the merchant processing systems. All 3 layers of the money supply chain were designed right here in Barbados, built right here in Barbados, but designed and built with the global market in mind. Fast forward 5 years later, and we are now at the point of where we have seen the impossible become possible. We're now witnessing central banks moving towards the advent of digital currencies. Bitt.com has been fortunate in that we're leading the way. But it doesn't stop there. We have to continue innovating and continue building. And part of that comes with designing systems that allow us to take away from the ecosystem which we have launched here in Barbados with a functioning payment system that works right now on this island. I could pay for my coffee, I could pay for my gas, I could pay for my expenses, and I can receive payments. And money is live and running. Something that we talked about last year, it's a possibility and it's happened this year. And what we're designing now is the next phase of where it goes. What happens when we get 2, 3, 4, 5 central banks utilizing this system? What does that network look like? What does the inter-central bank settlement network look like? How does layer 0, the final layer, look when we finally bring together a One Caribbean movement through the use of this technology, allowing CARICOM to drive its fullest and most beautiful, prosperous environment that it should have had from day one. So, where do we go from here? And what do you take away from this conference? What I want you guys to walk away with is understanding the risk and the benefits of blockchain technology applied to central banking. Understand what this can do for both your internal organization, your society, and your citizens. I want you to understand that if you're a monetary authority in the room, that there are ways that you can explore this technology which mitigate the risk completely. We offer feasibility studies and pilots that expose none of the consumers to any of the risks. We have a world-class team here. We've been around for 5 years. We understand that a central bank, digital dollar, and digital ecosystem does not happen overnight. We knew that from day one. To close a central bank, you're looking at 5 to 10 years of a sales cycle. We plan to stick around and see that mission forward. So for the central bankers and monetary authorities, understand there is a risk-free approach to launching a pilot where we both get to learn from each other. You get to understand the risk and the benefits of a digital dollar ecosystem. Because ultimately, the impossible is becoming the inevitable. And 5 years ago, if someone told me that our Honorable Mia Mottley would be our Prime Minister, when I told people that, they would have said I was crazy. Along with if we said that central bank digital dollars are crazy. 5 years later, we're here, and it's happened, and it's happening. So with that being said, thank you for everyone for attending. I'm looking forward to the interesting discussions we have throughout the day.